Why are the Democrats so obsessed with allowing non-citizens to vote in our election? Now, in New York City, we had the same problem, where the New York City Council passed legislation to allow non-citizens to vote in municipal elections, which, by the way, all Democrat appointees on that panel of judges, and we still won because it is illegal. It is not constitutional for non-citizens to vote in our elections.
Welcome back to MAGA Capital, where we expose the truth, defend the Constitution, and fight for every American citizen's voice. If you're tired of watching Democrats sell out this country to non-citizens and globalists, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the fight to take our nation back. Today, we're talking about something that should infuriate every law-abiding, tax-paying American, and that's the left's relentless obsession with letting non-citizens vote in our elections. You just heard from Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis of New York, who absolutely nailed it on the House floor. She asked a simple question: why are Democrats so obsessed with giving voting rights to people who are not even citizens of this country? Why are they so determined to dilute the voices of the people who actually built this nation, pay the taxes, and abide by its laws? We all know the answer, because it's about power. Democrats know their policies are unpopular. They know Americans are waking up to the disaster they've created: open borders, inflation, crime, chaos in our schools and cities. So what's their solution? Bring in a new voting base. Let non-citizens who haven't sworn allegiance to this country pick our leaders. It's disgusting. Malliotakis mentioned 20 municipalities across America, all Democrat-run, where they're pushing or have already passed non-citizen voting laws. These aren't just theories. These are active, coordinated attacks on our elections. Let's watch the full Senate hearing, and I'll be giving my full response and reaction afterwards.
Little gentlelady from New York is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the question, why are the Democrats so obsessed with allowing non-citizens to vote in our election? Why do they go so out of their way to dilute the voices of American citizens, the very American citizens who elected them to represent them? It is incredibly frustrating to hear that they continue to double down, triple down on giving rights to people who are not citizens of this country at taxpayer American citizen expense. The lead debater on the other side of the aisle said that it's not just this Washington, D.C. that is looking to allow non-citizens to vote in our elections. 20 municipalities, and guess what? They're all Democrat-run. Now, in New York City, we had the same problem, where the New York City Council passed legislation to allow non-citizens to vote in municipal elections. We had to sue to stop it, and we successfully did. But it took not just one round in court, not just 2 rounds in court, 3 rounds in court, where the City Council and the Mayor of New York used taxpayer money to continue to fight this each and every round, despite being voted down in the New York State Supreme Court, in the New York State Court of Appeals, Appellate Court, and lastly, in the New York Court of Appeals, which, by the way, all Democrat appointees on that panel of judges, and we still won because it is illegal. It is not constitutional for non-citizens to vote in our elections. And so just like we fought this in New York City and we prevailed, we will do the same here in Washington, D.C., and make sure that they stop allowing and they don't allow non-citizens to vote in their municipal elections, because we are exercising our constitutional responsibility to protect our elections. So I urge my colleagues to continue to be strong and vote in support of this, because we know that it passed overwhelmingly with bipartisan support last year. 52 Democrats sided with Republicans. But those who continue to push for non-citizens to vote in our elections, to dilute citizenship and dilute the voice of citizens in our elections, should be ashamed of themselves, and they should think about who actually elected them to represent their interests here today and why they continue to push the contrary.
Let's talk about New York City. The Radical City Council passed a law to let non-citizens vote in municipal elections. What did Malliotakis and her allies do? They sued. And guess what? They won. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. All in Democrat-run courts. Because even Democrat-appointed judges couldn't twist the Constitution enough to make this nonsense legal. And yet the city kept fighting, kept wasting taxpayer money to defend an unconstitutional law. That's how far they're willing to go to undermine your vote. The same Democrats who screamed about election integrity in 2016 and protecting democracy in 2020 are now trying to erase the very definition of what it means to be an American citizen. They don't care about fairness. They care about domination. But here's the good news. Patriots are fighting back. Malliotakis is standing tall, and she's not alone. Last year, 52 Democrats broke ranks and joined Republicans to support banning non-citizen voting. That's momentum. Let me be crystal clear. Voting is not just a right. It's a privilege that comes with citizenship. It's something Americans have fought and died for. And when Democrats try to hand that over to people who have not pledged loyalty to this country, it's a betrayal of every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform, paid their taxes, or voted legally. This isn't about race. It's not about immigration. It's about sovereignty. If non-citizens can vote, citizenship means nothing. And if citizenship means nothing, then America is no longer a sovereign republic. It's a borderless wasteland ruled by woke elites and globalist tyrants. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to call this out every single time they try it. We're going to expose the cities, the names, and the policies. And we're going to elect leaders who understand that American citizens come first. If you agree, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to MAGA Capital. Share this video with everyone you know. Because the fight for our vote is the fight for our future. We're not just defending a process, we're defending our country. And to the Democrats trying to erase our voices, we see you, and we will stop you.